Record-breaking cold is currently entering the states. An atmospheric river is set to drop multiple feet of precipitation for the Northwest. And snow is headed for the East Coast and possibly the Mid-Atlantic. It's December 4th, 2025. Let's get into the weather updates. We are currently breaking temperature records in parts of the states. I want to get to that in a second. Also, like I said, an atmospheric river is set up for the Northwest. First, I wanted to start with this snow. It's early in the season to get some southern snow like this, especially out here towards the coast. So we're going to go over this. We're going to look at our forecast, and then we're going to get into temperatures and that atmospheric river setup. Taking a look at our current radar first, we do have some precipitation moving into the Pacific Northwest. We have some nice snow falling in inner New England and up in the mountains here. And we also have some snow potentially falling up in the northern panhandle of Texas and then across central Oklahoma, with a lot of rainfall falling down here in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. If you're watching this video and you're out here in the southern plains, let me know if you're seeing any of this snow falling. This is going to be the system that attempts to move out to the east and put some snow down through portions of Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, maybe even Maryland, Delaware. We'll see if it gets into southeastern PA and Jersey. If you're down here in the southeast though today, expect this rainfall to be moving in as the day progresses. This is the 06Z run from the HRRR. Let's move our future radar forward here. We're getting into about midnight here where we could have some snow falling through portions of Tennessee and Kentucky, and it's making its way out there towards western Virginia. This would be at around 6 a.m. Friday morning. You could see we have a lot of snow falling through portions of Virginia and northern North Carolina. Now, some of this snowfall could actually be heavy at times in northern North Carolina and southern Virginia, but you have to remember there could be a little bit of a mixing issue. Central to northern Virginia, this will likely mostly be snow, and Kentucky and West Virginia, I believe this will be mostly snow for you as well. The mountains of North Carolina should also see some good snow for this. The higher elevation mountains, I do think Asheville, if anything, is going to be some mixing. Moving this towards midday Friday, you could see the snow wants to begin falling up here, potentially through DC, Baltimore, and then through portions of Delaware and southern Jersey. And then moving out towards Friday evening, this is the timing currently. Of course, this could change. This could speed up a tiny bit. It could slow down a little bit. So don't take this by the hour. This is just the general time frame we're expecting currently. But you can see here most of this moisture is off the coast. Maybe a little bit of snow still falling Friday evening out behind it. And then, of course, we still have that stream of moisture moving through the southeast here. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, potentially southeastern Texas. The HRRR isn't expecting much when it comes to totals across Tennessee and Kentucky. Maybe a dusting to an inch. Virginia, especially southwestern Virginia, could be the target area there. 4.5 to 5 inches of snow. Southern West Virginia, maybe you get 1 to 2 inches. And then northwestern North Carolina, maybe you could see 1 to 2 inches of snow. You can see here, central to southern Virginia, 1 inch to 3 inches is possible. And then we're looking at maybe 1 to 1.5 inches up here through portions of Maryland and Delaware. Taking a look at our current Jetstream setup, we do have some cold air pushing into the east. You can see that troughing out east. And then we have some ridging that's going to begin to push into the west over the next few days, which is what's going to be providing all of those above average temperatures. Now, in between here, this is where we're going to get our atmospheric river set up, this funnel of moisture into the Pacific Northwest, into the Northwest in general over the next 7+ days. So let's take a quick look at what the next 10 days could look like across the U.S. Of course, right now we have some snow falling up in the Great Lakes region and inner New England, and we have some snow flying out here just to the east of the Rockies, meeting up with this moisture down here to the south. This is going to move off to the east, provide a lot of rainfall for the southeast like we talked about, and potentially a little bit of snowfall up here for Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Now, as we get into this weekend, we're going to see some clipper systems continuously trying to move in through the northern plains and upper Midwest out towards New England. None of these are expected to drop a lot of snow, but you could get some decent accumulation in some areas because a lot of the snow is going to be falling on top of snow that's already on the ground, so you're not really going to get any melt. As we push into Friday night and Saturday, we have a ton of moisture funneling into the Northwest. Lots of snowfall for the Rockies here, especially the central to northern Rockies, and we have heavy rainfall falling up here in the Pacific Northwest, and again, we could get feet of snow up here in the Cascades. Moving throughout the weekend, our cold air continues to hold through the plains and out east, and this is interesting. Saturday night into Sunday, this could actually develop into a somewhat decent snowstorm. You're seeing the potential for some heavier snow totals here through portions of the Dakotas, southern Minnesota, Iowa, pushing out towards Illinois, Wisconsin. Maybe this moves into Indiana, Ohio, so this may be targeting the Midwest. We see some clippers before this, but this clipper system in particular that the models have been seeing about 84 hours out here, I think does have the potential to put down maybe 4 or 5+ inches of snowfall in some places. We continue to see that funnel of moisture through the southeast as we get into Sunday. We're still cold out east, and we still have this constant flow of moisture out in the Northwest the entire weekend. Now we move into Monday and Tuesday. Again, cold out east. This is going to be interesting here. Globals are agreeing on this as well. You can see a 998 millibar low pressure system diving down through the Great Lakes region. This is going to try to bring snowfall up here to the northeast. And then right behind it, we're Tuesday night now going into Wednesday, another system diving down for the upper Midwest through the Great Lakes region and then out towards the northeast. Watch the 6-day progression here starting Saturday that the models see. We could have 1 snowstorm, 2, 3, 4 right there. There's multiple reasons we're seeing this pattern. This atmospheric river out here is just feeding us clipper systems across the northern tier states. It also doesn't hurt that we have this constant feed of below average air out east from our jet stream. Now, as we get out here towards the 11th and 12th, and I've been bringing this up in every video, our models continuously see it, we do get an extra amplified trough showing up on the models. This would potentially allow for a nor'easter setup. You can see a couple of low pressure systems showing up here right off the coast on the models. If we can get one of these storm systems to link up correctly with our jet stream, we could get some big snow along the coast. So that's something to watch out for. This is also going to bring some extremely cold air for the southeast. And then pushing out all the way towards the end of the run, we don't want to take this too seriously, but we're seeing more of a zonal flow setup here, meaning potentially warm for the southern tier states, but staying cold for the northern tier states. And this actually looks a little bit different than what we were seeing before. I was seeing potentially a nice warm up for the east. With the zonal flow, you could see just above average temperatures for the south, below average for the north. So it's not really an east or west temperature difference, but more of a north and south temperature difference. So we'll see if this trend continues or if this is just one model run. Taking a look out about 10 days, you can see where that snowfall wants to target portions of the northern plains, upper Midwest, and then up here towards New England. Again, this atmospheric river and jet stream setup is going to really be funneling a lot of moisture up into these regions. It's going to be cold, and the amount of snow that could fall out west is astonishing. Let's look at some rainfall totals and snowfall totals out here real quick. What we're looking at right here is our 7-day precipitation totals, and what you're seeing is some areas potentially receiving over 15 inches of precipitation. A lot of this in this region is going to be in the mountains, so this is going to be snow. Lower elevations, of course, this is going to be rain. 10 to 15 inches of precipitation is a ton of rainfall, and that's going to come with a flooding risk. But what does that mean for the mountains? Because with snow, depending on the temperatures, 1 inch of precipitation can lead to 10 to 15 inches of snowfall. Taking a look out about 7 days here, we're seeing totals approaching about 120 inches of snowfall. And if we push farther east into Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, you can see they're getting a lot of this snowfall as well. Some of these areas at the highest elevations could see 8 to 10 plus feet of snowfall. And if we push out a little bit further, you can see a lot of this snowfall wants to begin falling in the Sierra Nevada. And of course, you can see these big numbers for Oregon and Northern California as well. All right, let's quickly dive into what's going on with our temperatures. We are setting records up here in the upper Midwest. These are all record low temperatures we're seeing up here through portions of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, and even Missouri. And as we move into tomorrow, we expect these record lows to shift out east, stretching from Missouri up through New England. You can really see this barrage of cold air over the next 10 days out east. Here's all this cold air entering the east right now. You start to see this ridge setting up out west. As we get into the weekend, this would be as we move into Saturday morning, cold air pushing in out east, warm air sitting out west. We're still warm down here, a little bit of a southeastern ridge. We move forward in time through the weekend. Here comes another burst of cold air for the upper Midwest, for the plains and out east. This cold air does try to get down there into the southeast, into Florida. And then moving through next week, here comes another burst of cold air for the east. So pretty nonstop here over the next, I would say 7 to 10 days. As we get towards the end of this run, you can see kind of a zonal type flow wants to set up, bringing a lot of above average temperatures down here to the southern tier states, while the northern tier states stay a little bit cooler. So like I said earlier, a little bit different than what we were seeing originally. We'll see if this trend continues. Taking a look at our ice and snow, we have a pretty nice snowpack right here. This can actually help set up a colder winter in general for multiple factors, like that easier transfer of cold air down to the south, plus the sun reflecting off of this snow, not allowing the continent to absorb as much heat. So if you like those cooler temps, you like a cooler winter, it is nice that we have this snowpack early on in the season. Some of the southern areas here are going to lose a little bit of snowpack, obviously. The northern tier states, especially up here in the northern plains, upper Midwest, Great Lakes region, and New England, are likely to hold their snowpack. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I post videos like this every morning, and as soon as I post them, I go live to answer all of your weather-related questions. And if you'd like to become a member of the Climate Crew, the link to my Discord is right down in the description. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video or in the live stream.